Hello, and thank you for tuning into Channel 5 News. I'm your host, Rebecca Vanguard. Tonight's news segment is about Japanese performance artist Tadashi Watanabe. His website explains the concept behind many of his performances and installations. He says, "The message I want to explore through my art is, what is space? Our very existence is changed depending on the space we are in. For example, if we go to a hospital, we are now patients. If we go to a store, we're now customers. When we go to school, we become students. Therefore, space influences who we think we are, our very spirit." So I began by questioning, is there anyone who understands the real nature of space? In September of 1997, at the age of 24, Watanabe makes his international debut at the Trans Art Communication Festival in Slovakia and Hungary. The black and white photos show Watanabe inside of an empty church near the Czech Republic border. The pictures are eerie and dark, but also perfectly composed. This performance captured an iconic photo taken by Shibata Buno of Watanabe standing on top of the table with his hands held above his head, holding a big white bouquet of flowers. Slovakia had gained their independence 5 years prior, so bullet holes still riddled the outside of the building. He wanted to give tribute to all of the residents and the lives lost during the Cold War. Watanabe comments on the current state of affairs in a Facebook post from August of 2022. "More than 25 years have passed, and I still feel helpless to the current state of affairs on repeat. Nothing but to express life as it is. Once again, I've made my mind strong." He performed again at the Palace of Exhibitions in Budapest, Hungary for the same arts festival. Inside of this elegant and empty venue, Watanabe wastes no time making a mess with what appears to be flour. Watanabe has an affinity for food, flour, apples, and flowers, as these items would make repeat appearances in his performances throughout the years. And in June of 2000, he shared his last self-titled solo exhibition themed Release from Being, held at Toki Art Space in Tokyo. In December of 2001, Watanabe finds himself back at Toki Art Space for another performance. This time, he introduces a projector and chooses a photo of thousands of tiny tree branches to cover the room and himself. In another performance at Toki, Watanabe switches rooms with a whole new installation featuring Marilyn Monroe on the wall. He rips tissues from a box and lets them fall to the floor in a pile before standing up and raising his arm as if to say, "Ta-da, I'm done. Isn't it lovely?" He finishes the performance with another bouquet of flowers, except this time he holds them upside down and trims the red roses with a pair of scissors, with the image of Marilyn Monroe watching over him as the petals fall to the ground. The message seems very clear to me. Romance is dead. Romance is empty. Watanabe returned to Europe in June of 2001 to perform at the On the Edges International Art Festival in Lithuania. This might be one of his most magical performances ever. A small boat floats past him and gets closer and closer to check out his performance. A large swan can also be seen swimming next to him. According to Watanabe, these events are purely coincidental and not rehearsed. He is on a roll here, people. Watanabe is 11 years into his career, and he is ready to break into a new market. In April of 2003, he performed at the Sharjah International Biennial 6 in the United Arab Emirates. Watanabe fills a bathtub full of cement while donning a black suit. He fills the space diligently with a shovel, as men wearing kanduras and women wearing hijabs watch on. The whole scene is very surreal, and the audience seems to complete the performance without even realizing it. Watanabe wasn't done yet. He is making plans for his biggest move yet, New York City. He lived in New York from 2003 to 2005 and only performed 4 times, but that's all he needed in order to make an impression. Watanabe's first 2 performances took place at the now closed Galapagos Art Space in Brooklyn. The water on the floor really opened up the space, and it reminds me a lot of an infinity mirror. His second performance in 2004 took place inside of a huge milk tank. He utilizes the small amount of space to set up a light, a video camera, so onlookers can see inside, and he begins his cement mixing process once again. These pictures remind me a lot of a noise punk band from Japan called Hana Tarash. I wonder if he was a fan. I love this man's dedication to destruction. It's actually very punk rock, if you ask me. Watanabe's next exhibition was at the Tribes Art Gallery in the East Village, where guests were asked to draw inside of a white paper box before Watanabe set it ablaze. The word museum can be seen on the outside of the box as it burns. I think the message is very strong for this performance, and I just hope that none of the curators took him too literally. His last performance was in April of 2005 at Caves Art Gallery in Greenpoint. I enjoy the use of color in this exhibition. He added blue paint to his cement mix and splattered blue paint all over the walls in true Watanabe fashion. I love looking at these photos from the past. A man is using a really cool old school video camera to record his performance, and the pictures themselves are these little time capsules where, again, I find myself feeling like the audience completes the performance. Tadashi Watanabe's career spans nearly 30 years over multiple countries, so it's basically impossible to cover all of it in about 6 minutes. I'm a fan of Watanabe's work because I think it's relatable. I love that he focuses more on the process of making the art than the art itself, because I think the best things in life typically don't last forever. Life is all about the journey, it's not all about the destination. Making the art is what brings us the most peace and joy. Once you're done, you're on to the next piece. I think if there's one thing to take away from this story, it's to slow down and enjoy the process. This is Rebecca Vanguard for Channel 5 News, signing off for the evening. Good night.